Thank you. I'm going to share with you all my story of Sisu and not being perfect. It felt impossible. I was at mile 75 of a 100-mile race. I'd been running for 19 hours. It was midnight. I was knee-deep in snow, and I was almost hypothermic. I really needed to eat and drink, but I kept throwing everything up. Darcy, the defending champ, had just flown by me. I was in the worst place I've ever been in a race before. My crew, who had more food, more drink, and more warm clothes, were another 5 hours of running away, and then the finish was still another 5 hours from there, running away. I needed to sleep more than I've ever needed to sleep before, but stopping there in the snow-capped mountains would have meant death or close to it. I moved slowly, step by step through the snow, and I could feel every single step like a dagger in my thighs. My pacer, a safety runner, gave me all his love and patience and forward energy, and eventually, after a really long, slow, and extremely painful downhill, we got into the aid station. I lay in the frozen grass. All I wanted was 3 minutes sleep, but my crew had their warm hands all over me, rubbing my legs awake, rubbing my back and shoulders, and handing me warm soup and Coke to drink. After 10 minutes, I realised I wasn't going to get any sleep, so I took my peanut butter and jam sandwich, stood up, and walked slowly out of there, looking back at their faces of emotion filled with willing and pain as I went back into the cold mountains again. I was in total oblivion, just marching to my breath. Then something changed. It was still really dark and freezing cold, but now I could hear the chirp of the birds and the rustle of the little chipmunks all around me. I stopped for a bite of my sandwich and threw a few crusts to the little animals who were living so freely and happily in a place that was just so dark for me at that time. And then up ahead, we could see Darcy's light shining really brightly on the cliffs ahead. The impossible was about to happen. I drew on everything, all the strength, resilience, determination I had, looked the mountains in the face, pushed through the deep physical pain and mental fatigue, and went. It was now or never, my pacer and I agreed. This had been my dream for 3 years, and I wasn't ready to let that go. The moment when the sun touched my skin, warming me, I now understood the words of love and encouragement that my other pacer had told me in the aid station before. The sun would be up soon. My body came alive. I went somewhere I'd just never been before. Mentally and physically, we charged. I ate all the caffeine gels that I had in my bag, and we went. We didn't stop, we didn't talk, we just charged silently and respectfully past Darcy and into the next aid station where my crew weren't expecting me just yet. There was a major commotion as we tore off through the final 15 miles. I had just a fiery focus on the trails and the course markers ahead. I wasn't going to get lost at that point. We didn't stop, we didn't talk, we just charged. And my breath was all I had to sort of breathe out that pain in my legs with every step. My pacer was amazing. He had soothing words, ignored my grunts of agony, ignored the crazy words of hallucination, and just kept me going. It was then 2.3 miles to go. We were now 30 minutes ahead of Darcy, but I wasn't giving up. I didn't want her to catch us. So we kept charging until we got there. And as we approached the finish, I had tears in my eyes. Not only had I just finished the race, but I was about to win Hard Rock 100. One of the hardest 100-mile races in the world, one where you climb the equivalent height of Mount Everest twice. My parents were there to share the moment with me and my crew who had believed in me. They understood and knew what I was capable of, and so pushed me a little touch more. They knew it was possible. It was one of the moments when I felt most empowered as a woman, growing and glowing with Sisu. Sisu is a Finnish word and way of life. It is the extraordinary courage and determination in the face of adversity. Sisu has encompassed everything in my life. It is the people, the journey, the experiences. It's a frame of mind. It's a strength and determination that nothing is impossible. And it's the heart of what I draw on in moments like hard rock. My life has been a journey of stubbornness. It often got me in trouble, at school especially, but more times than not, through pure determination, and I think most importantly with no fear of falling, I've forced my way through closed doors and found what I've been searching for, the love and joy of being an empowered woman with a whole world full of opportunities. I was continually learning about Sisu. I want there to be more Sisu girls in our world. Girls proud to be girls. Girls who are confident and not dependent on being attractive to or approved of by anybody else. Girls who go on to get more out of the world. I want a world of girls who stand up for what they believe in. Girls who are brave enough to step outside of their comfort zone. And I want all of us to raise our girls with fierce Sisu. Do you all encourage your children to spread their wings, fly, and then fall flat on their face? We need to show our children resilience. We need to show our children that falling is not failing, but it is about how we get up from that fall, learn from it, change it, move on, and see that perfection is not how life is. Running is about the most honest I have to be with myself. It is a simple and empowering activity. All we need is our shoes, determination, and breath. It still surprises me what we can achieve with our own 2 feet and a lot of Sisu. And even when times do get tough, we do have control of how we deal with things. Even in these high and quiet mountains, when there's no way out, you need to find your tenacity to hold on through the pain and fatigue. You need to find your inner Sisu. And you can't just expect to have it. You have to earn it, learn it, and be nurtured through it. My footsteps have not always been easy. There have been struggles, like politics and sport, injuries, relationship battles, constant movement with no structure or routine. I remember one race clearly. I was standing on the podium with 2 other women. We'd been given nice bathrobes and some suntan lotion as our prize. The men, they got €1,500 and a case of beer each. Being Sisu girls enabled us to stand our ground against inequality in a sport that we love. We didn't move that stage until the podium until the organisers agreed to acknowledge that we had done something just as awesome as men, and we demanded equal prizes for men and women. It is through struggles like these that I've learnt what a girl with Sisu looks like. Resilient, honest, patient, brave, a girl with no limitations, a girl who has fallen time and time again and is not afraid to fall gracefully again. I'm honoured to be considered a Sisu girl, as a positive role model to encourage others, especially girls, to find their inner Sisu, to show the world their true colours, their determination to succeed through trial and error, strength and fun, hard work and passion. People often ask me, how can I teach Sisu to my children? I answer, you can't do it alone. This is our global project. It's not simple. We need all hands on. We need to nurture and nourish everyone for what they are and who they are. We need to encourage them, as my parents did for me, as wonderful role models, to spread their wings and fly. And all of you, each and every one of you, also have the opportunity to be wonderful role models to the girls and boys in your lives. Together, let's make a change and celebrate what we have, which is an opportunity for a world full of Sisu girls. Thank you.